Welcome back, guys, to our Legacy playthrough of Destiny 1. We have cleared out all the Year 1 stuff, more or less. The main story things, anyway, from the base vanilla campaign, the Dark Below, and House of Wolves. There are a few strikes out there that later got little reworks and updates for Year 2 and Year 3, so we'll come back to those strikes down the line. I don't want to do the strikes more than once if all they did is, you know, just up the difficulty and had some minor changes, so we'll return to those later. I do want to knock out all the strikes, the main strikes, in sort of like a later segment after we get through all the campaign stuff. I want to knock out all the individual strikes as opposed to just like in the middle of the story jump into like all the strikes back to back. So we are going to jump into the Taken King momentarily. As you can see, the first mission on Phobos, we'll be doing that here in just a moment. Before we do, I wanted to show you something kind of cool. So you guys, I might have mentioned this throughout my playthrough at some point, but I am a huge fan of the Celestial Nighthawk. It was my first exotic drop, and I loved it not just for its like functional utility, but also because I thought it was really cool. So when I was running my Hunter in Year 1, when I first was like getting really heavy into D1, I always wore the Celestial Nighthawk, even when I wasn't wearing a solar subclass, because I just thought it was super cool. So naturally, when I was looking at Bungie's online store and I was scrolling through and I saw they had a 1-to-1 life-size wearable replica of the Celestial Nighthawk on sale, I had to buy it. So take a look at this. Now, this thing is huge. So when they say 1-to-1, like this is massive. Like this is so big. This is not what I had in mind. Ideally, what I wanted to do was throughout this playthrough is I wanted to say like, okay, anytime I was going to pop my golden gun and I was going to put on Celestial Nighthawk, I was going to put the helmet on as like a part of that little thing. I don't know, just being quirky, I guess. But I wanted to incorporate this into the playthrough. But there's a huge problem with it. So it's kind of got like the Spider-Man mask syndrome, you know how they show like Peter Parker's eyes where they would actually have to be in order to align with the lenses, like his eyes would have to be like way over here. Same thing with the helmet. I have a very narrow bridge here, and so like this is about the gap I would need before there were like eye cutouts like with this helmet. This is how big it would be. So like take a look at this. It is just like, it's like comedically large. Like this is such a massive sized helmet. Like it's just way too freaking big. Like I can't work with this. Not only can I not see out of it, but it also looks so much dorkier than I thought. The quality of it is pretty good. I mean, it is kind of a cheap plastic, but the paint jobs and stuff on this thing are really cool. I like the worn, tarnished, kind of beat up look. My only gripe is that the Destiny 1 version of the Celestial Nighthawk had a very distinctive look and style to it. And while the branding on the box for this does say just Destiny, it's not like the Destiny 2 exotic version. It just says Destiny on the box. This is very clearly the Destiny 2 version of it, and if you've played D1 recently, or if you've paid close attention when I was selecting the Celestial Nighthawk throughout this D1 playthrough, you would see there's a very distinct difference in style. In fact, I have it on me. Let's go ahead and just take a look at it. This version of the Celestial Nighthawk, let's take the shader off because I think that'll really highlight what I'm trying to say. It has a very different design and appearance to it. So let's go and get a better look at this thing, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But this was my first exotic in D1, and I've just loved it ever since. Do you see like the grain and the strokes on it? Like it's very different. Do you see how narrow like the nose is, how it comes down? Actually, this is the first time I've really noticed like how different that is. This like jets out like really, really far. Look at how that hawk, like that nose, that beak nose, like kind of just comes down. It's like it would be like down to here. So it's very different. I don't know, it's cool. I love this helmet. It's a great display piece, but I don't think it's like gonna meet my standards for like any sort of cosplay or Halloween or anything like that. I can't see out of it, for one. For two, it's way too freaking big. And for three, I don't know, it just looks neat having it on the shelf. But yeah, I really wish that it had more of a D1 look to it. I've seen like designers and replica makers and stuff on Etsy and whatnot do like this particular design, probably because during the D1 days it's the only design we had, so they based it off of this. But I don't know, I've always liked this particular look of it more than this. This is not, I don't know, D1's it just looked better, I think. Like the paint jobs and the decal, it all looks like really nice and clean and stuff, like, which is cool, but this looks more beat up and worn and torn down. There's more tarnish around the eyes there, and like just like the little ridges across the beak and then across like the sort of jaw area. I don't know. I really, really love Celestial Nighthawk, so naturally I had to buy this. It was typically $100, and I think they still have some stock if you're interested. It's typically $100, and they're selling it for 30, I think like 34 bucks. And it's it has shipping and handling, so I think it came out to like $58 or something for the helmet. So I think it's totally worth it. I've got this thing, like I said, sitting right here, and it's going to go up on my shelf for a display later on down the road. But anyway, I just wanted to show that to you because I was really excited. I was waiting. I'm like, you know what? I want to wear this for the Taken King. Womp womp. It's too big. I can't see out of it. It just doesn't work. So anyway, we're just going to have to deal. As for the strikes, I was contemplating whether or not I wanted to jump in and do those strikes first and bang those out in between. But there's a bunch of strikes that I wanted to save for a little bit later. So we've done the main story stuff. We've knocked out the bosses for the main story campaigns thus far. And then we'll save the strikes for later because I think those are just so significant that we'll jump into those down the road. I'll probably do the strikes in between Taken King and Rise of Iron. I do think that Rise of Iron has 1 or 2 revamped Siva strikes, so I'll have to be on the lookout for that. I think there's a variation of, what was it, the Devil's, like the Prime Servitor that's got the Devil's Lair. That was it. I think that one has a variation of it, but we'll worry about that another time. Anyway, let's jump into the Taken King level 25 story, The Coming War. Let's see what this is all about. I remember this being a really intense mission, so I'm stoked on this. What is my loadout right now? I'm wondering, do I want to have... I'm trying to decide if I want to just make good use of Icebreaker for now, or if I want to swap. We'll see. I'm going to just run with the Mago loop. I really want to get a legendary Fatebringer, so I don't have to rely on a Mago loop, but we're good for now. Yeah, two of the strikes actually, Echo Chamber and the Undying Mind have chances to drop a Mago loop, so maybe we'll get a better roll someday. We'll see. Oh, this is pretty beautiful.
I was born the moment the Traveler died.
Taking screenshots.
As everything collapsed around us. Before that day, there had never been a ghost. There had never been a guardian. I don't know much about the Traveler, but I know it made me to bring you back. And I spent a really, really long time searching for you. The Cosmodrome? Not the first place I looked. As I saw the other ghosts find their guardians,
okay, I'm done,
and the centuries went by, I wondered if I'd ever find you. And then I did.
I remember everything about the day I was born. I still bear the scars. The Awoken are my family now. And I am their queen.
Can't believe we've never got space fighting, like ship battles. It's crazy to me that we never got that. Destiny 1 has had some really great cutscenes and narrative beats, but the gameplay loop as a franchise has been so bad since it went free to play in D2. Like, reports recently have said that Sony is like really laying into Bungie and like instilling discipline on them and like saying, hey, we need to redo the new player onboarding process. We need to add a whole bunch of new this, and this. So I'm stoked. I think Sony's gonna...
We fought to keep our beautiful creations safe.
I think Sony's gonna turn it around, I think.
And now this beast has come, claiming to be king. Mara Sav bows to no one.
Damn, she's hot. You know, she reminds me of Cara Delevingne. Dang, it didn't do anything. Shields blocked that.
You and I know how this ends. We've known since you escaped from that pit. The Awoken have played their part. This was all part of the plan. Guide them, my hidden friend. It is all up to you now.
It's pretty dope. I will say that. Man, nothing hits like Taken King days, I'll tell you that right now. Sorry for the screenshots. I really wanted to grab some of those just like wallpaper worthy moments.
Guardian, this is Commander Zavala. The Cabal base on Phobos is blasting a signal across all channels. They're willing to break transmission silence. This could be a prelude to a full-scale assault.
We're setting down on Phobos now.
I'll be monitoring your feed, Ghost. Good luck to you both.
Need a screenshot of that too. I might be doing that a lot. The cutscenes in this particular expansion are really freaking good. The Taken King. My ship. Alright, let's go. Yeah, they're like running scared. Which is unlike them. Doesn't one like come out and just like die right in front of you? Yeah, this guy, I think. Oh, snap. I don't know, man.
Zavala, the Cabal are evacuating with extreme prejudice. They're getting torn up down here.
Sphere is what that is. Where is that enemy at? The red marker I see. Oh, there you are. Oh, he's like dying too in the same way. I wanted to look over here. I don't remember what was over here. The thing is, I don't know. Like, the final shape is a really weird thing for me because I understand that there was a lot of really cool features and additions and prismatic and blah, blah, blah. It's a beautiful thing, like bringing Cade back. It's beautiful to be inside the Traveler and get those narratives, but like, it just seemed a little bit, I don't know. What we can do in video games these days, I'm not impressed with the final shape. I think a lot of people were just like, Destiny 2 has sucked for so long that the final shape really kind of like was a good expansion, but it's like, that's the best that D2 has been, and I feel like the final shape is at baseline what Destiny 2 should have always been. What's the, where did he, oh, here we go.
Skyburner's regiment. Dead, obviously. There are no other Guardians here. I wonder who put them down.
Yeah.
Something has drawn us here. I can feel it.
Guardian, I've asked Eris Morn to monitor the channel.
I hear whispers in the dark.
You know what I mean? It's just weird because Destiny was supposed to be RPG MMO and it's neither. Like, it has some elements of both, but very little to satiate
What the hell was that?
a fan of either genre.
Fingertips on the surface of my mind.
So dorky.
Yes. Thank you for your input, Eris.
Yes, thank you for your input. What the hell?
The whispers are louder. I will endure.
Killed him for you. See, this was such a brilliant narrative style. Like, it was just so well done. It was intense. It was thrilling. It was scary. It was suspenseful. Like, this is just a nuts scenario to be in, which I think is, like, really cool.
A word. A name. He is here.
Give your will to me.
See, and like the Taken, we've seen these all around the system. So like, it's a little weird that now we're being like introduced to these characters as if like this is a, you know, a first time thing. Because it's obviously not. Green and a blue. Either which I need.
His face. It was his hand that transformed the Cabal.
Okay.
This mission is scrubbed. Guardian, get to your ship and get out of there.
Do I have any need to wear Nighthawk right now? Probably not. But like, I don't know. This is, I don't know. The final shape never did anything like this for me. It was just so formulaic and bland. It just... I don't know. I don't mean to be a hater. There were things I liked about it, but like, it just didn't... Destiny 2 never had the magic. Never. It never did. Not in year one. Not at any point. But I think Sony owning it is a fantastic thing. I think all the good things we've come to expect from the acquisition are starting to happen. I really do. I really believe that's what's going to be the case. I think Sony is going to light fires. People that don't like it are going to leave. Because I was reading today, actually, that Bungie really wanted to remain independent, and it's like, you think that Sony's going to pay $3-some-odd billion and get no say on how you operate your business? Are you high? Like, there's just no way that's going to happen. But Bungie is, and has been arrogant for so long, that they thought they could get away with that, but this is not the case, man. Microsoft held them accountable. They didn't like it, so they went, you know, they left. Activision held them accountable. Bungie didn't like it, so they left. Sony now owns them. You're not getting away this time.
They sent teams to investigate anomalous energy fluctuations across the base. None of the units reported back.
There was also a talk about something that was a rumor in 2021 that Microsoft was actually going to...
This is a loss. We have reports of these taken across the system. Go! Get out!
Microsoft was going to buy Bungie in 2021, but found a high burn rate because they're just wasting money left and right. Pete Parsons and all his cars, no doubt, among some things. And they were like, no, we're not buying Bungie. That's a waste. Damn, that was cool.
Our ship's landing across the airfield. Hurry!
So, like, I don't know. I think Sony definitely got the raw end of the deal, but I think they're going to make the best of it. I absolutely do. I absolutely think Sony is going to force out all the wrongdoers, and they're going to rebuild Bungie, and they're going to make Bungie, either they're going to rebrand it or they keep the name, I don't know, but they're going to make it an official Sony Studios thing. And I bet they turn the game into a better single player experience, because I don't know, man. Destiny 2 is a disaster. I love the magic of D1, but like it was also a disaster. Running through this campaign reminded me of the things that I remember liking about it, but still confounded me. Like I was so confused. Like, how did this game ship this way? I mean, we know why, but I don't know how you let that happen. I don't know. Responsible people don't let that happen. Splitters. Okay, you know what? Wow. Aim assist is killing me here. Okay, you know what? Whoa, I'm getting spanked. This is what I get for using a mouse and a keyboard all day long. Is there a system in place that, like, these scions, like, how many times they can split, or is it just infinite? Because it feels kind of infinite.
We're almost there.
But, yeah, a lot of the news, man, has not been good for Bungie. Except for the fact that Sony is lighting fires and is correcting some things, which I'm very happy to hear. Whoa. Sit down. Nice.
Zavala, we made it to our ship. We're heading home.
That was a fun mission. It's just as good as I remember it. Ah, and then of course, the reward screen. Probably doesn't give us anything, right? Maybe a blue? Materials, whatever. I still can't believe I had my subclass all maxed out. Ridiculous. That's cool. I'm gonna get a lot of screenshots of this. See, we never see them in such an organized fashion. The Taken. It's so cool. Want that too? Oh, gotta get that one. That's a hot one. Looking good, Bugman. Bug and bone.
Their leaders belong to you.
That sword is dope.
Rest await extermination. No. Gather them. I will take them all.
I forgot what he sounded like. Orc's got that sexy.
My contacts near Saturn say the weapon fired only once.
It's not like the Queen to attack a superior force.
How could she have known? How could anyone? We need a warlock inside the Dreadnought.
Here we go.
Our first priority must be to protect the city. Our Guardian got a good look on Phobos. Whatever it was, it turned Cabal against Cabal, wiped out their base in minutes. How long would we last?
Until we understand what we're dealing with.
They are taken.
Eris, get your rock off my map.
It hasn't spoken since Crota fell. It speaks now because Oryx has arrived, come to fulfill the final covenant of his son.
But why fight the Cabal?
Not fighting,
Taking.
controlling their will.
So we focus on his arm.
She's so
Kill
disgusted by
these
him.
taken until he's all that's left.
Whatever you kill, Oryx will replace.
The Dreadnought, then. How do we get past that weapon?
Without ending up like the Awoken.
I gotta go, see about a ship.
Cade, our discussion is not yet concluded.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm leaving.
Best character in all of Destiny. Can't believe they killed him twice. Well, 6, Cade 6, and then plus the 2. So 8. I don't know. Carry the 1. So I saw a quote actually yesterday, the day before recording this, and I thought this was absolutely fantastic. This was a Reddit comment. I don't remember who said it. I didn't grab the username, so I apologize for not quoting. But he says, "Destiny's story is a mess," and this aligns with what I was saying earlier. The writing has been laughable from day one, just a jumble of proper nouns and cheap sci-fi shortcuts. When everyone can teleport, time travel, come back from the dead, etc., it's hard to care. Anything can be solved by Ikora appearing, doing some purple magic, and oops, she's tired now. I don't have time to explain. Major plot points are known 6 months in advance. Seasonal stories are formulaic. A new threat requires using enemy tech to win. Exactly. But one of the Vanguard doesn't like it. They're gonna argue in the helm about it and then teleport away. Isn't that every single season? You're just standing there like awkwardly watching Osiris or whomever like arguing with somebody else, and then they storm off. Crow or Zavala, or like it's so on top. Seriously. He goes on to say, people act like Lightfall was a low point in the story and the Witch Queen was a masterpiece. I'm sorry, but Destiny's story has always been a low point. Too many portals and BS. They could never make sense of it for new players. Bungie are good at evoking a setting, and when it's time for dialogue, it's time to activate the Radiolarian substrate coagulator to channel the paracausal energies flowing from the Vex network and Elsie's dark future through the speaker's ass, because the speaker is back. And I was like, I can't believe that he nailed it so hard. And I believe like that's just one example of why the seasonal format is just so terrible. It's because not only is it the exact same, like, go here, do the same thing you do every single mission, go here, talk to this person, go back to the place where you came from, talk to this person, check in, drop the fish off in the pond. Like, it's just, Jesus Christ, it's just a running back and forth, which is weird when people can teleport. Like, why do I have to go through all these menus to like go to a location when people can just teleport away? Or like radio comm, like I never have to be there in person, like unless I'm giving cookies to someone or some BS. It's just so funny. And then the activity is always like the exact same activity as last time, but with like a different name, a different coat of paint, the exact same, I don't know, it's just, oh my god, I can't believe they got away with doing this for so long in Destiny 2. And Destiny 1, I would love to see a director's cut of, like I would love to know what was the plan. If I'm not mistaken, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, this is just what I remember, like I'm not looking at something to be able to like confirm, I don't have notes here, but my memory tells me that initially the storyline is that everything that we got in Destiny 1, except for Rise of Iron, I think, maybe, I know that Taken King and all the other content was meant to be like year 1 base game launch stuff, but Jason Jones, like some egomaniac, I guess he didn't like the story or found it confusing or whatever, and then they chopped it up like right before launch and then threw together all these different missions to give us a bare bones storyline that makes no freaking sense, that doesn't introduce us to anything or anyone except for the speaker. We end up going to the Vanguard like we've always known them, like there was no proper introduction about who they are, like what they do, like, you know, or anything like that. And I think Destiny 2 suffers from a lot of that stuff as well. Like, even if you're a player that has taken a break for a really long time, come back and you feel like a new player because everything has changed. The UI once again is like a complete disaster. It doesn't make any sense. There's like the verbiage here, the nouns there, and all these different things. Like I remember coming back and like Scorch and Jolt and like what the hell does that mean? And like I can put 2 and 2 together. Scorch is like fire and Jolt is like electricity, but I'm like, I don't know where to go to get definitions as to like how to proc these things, like what mods I need to engage with that. Do my weapons do that innately? Like whatever. There was no UI explaining all that. And like even then, when you look at like your weapon stats and stuff, like it gives you this. What in the hell does this mean? Like, what does this number represent? Like, what is this? And like, what is this 100? Like, is this like, what exactly is this telling me? Like, it doesn't give us any real indicator. Okay, increases its effective range. Okay, like to what though? Like, how much exactly is rangefinder boosting? And like, You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Destiny 2 later added that, but like so many years into the game. Like, so when I was reading these reports about Sony saying that they were going to like really light some fires, and I guess Bungie's legal like head like lawyer, he was like the chief legal officer or something like that, he was talking about this, and he was saying like, I was in the room and you guys were all just thinking that you were going to be able to do whatever you want because of your egos and your pride, but like that's not going to work here. Sony owns us. They're not going to let go. They want their money's worth, $3-point-something billion. You're not going to be independent studio. And so it sounds like Sony is making some changes, because it sounds like any time there's ever been a publisher, whether it's Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard, whatever, and they were saying like, hey, you need to get this stuff done, like get a new expansion out at this time, or get this particular thing done, like Bungie didn't want to do it because they were so disorganized and mismanaged, and the money was just going all, like left and right. I don't know. I do remember reading somewhere as well that they built a new campus that was like $800 million. And I don't know for sure because I'm not a legal professional and the timelines are a little messy with the reporting and everything. It kind of sounds to me like a lot of the money that Sony gave them to retain their employees went towards building this whole new, like, you know, building. And then they fired like 50% of their staff, and then now like they can't even like occupy. I don't know, the whole thing is just crazy. So if I missed anything, missed any details, or you know more, please elaborate, because it's super duper sloppy. One guy called me out in a comment saying I didn't know the history of Destiny, and it's like, dude, it's just all bad. Like, the history of Destiny is all bad. Like, it's not good at all. There's conflicting stories everywhere, and you're trying to remember all the different parts, all the different little pieces together after a 10-year span of disaster, like one after another. And I mean, come on, give me a friggin' break. Like, I'm not a guru by any means. I'm just a fan of the game. Like, I don't need to know every little aspect of it. That's what I got you guys for. Like, fill me in. There's a nice way to correct someone. You know what I mean? So, like, in the event that I say something wrong, don't be rude about it. I'm not here to, like, argue with you. Just say, hey, Marcanine, that thing that you said about XYZ, it was actually ABC. And I'd be like, oh, cool. Thank you for letting me know that. I'm a human being, and I make mistakes. But anyway, calling back from memory, reading, you know, rumors and theories and reports from, you know, this source and that source, it's been all super duper crazy. But a lot of stuff has happened in the past few days, and leading up to this particular video. The Taken King has been something that I really wanted to jump into, which is mainly what I wanted when I jumped into D1 as a legacy replay. I didn't care about the year one stuff because that stuff is so confusing and nonsensical. But the Taken King forward has got some really great memories, me in particular, that I have. So I wanted to relive this, and I want to chat a little bit more about some of the details that are being leaked about some reports and Sony's direction with Bungie going forward. And of course, Icebreaker is coming back. I don't know if I got a chance to mention that in recent videos. It's been a week. There has been more than a week since this video and the last episode of the playthrough. So I took a break from that because I've been playing some other things and working on some other projects. So I don't remember if I got a chance to say it, but you guys definitely let me know in the comments. But like, remember, I record a bunch of videos ahead of time. So I recorded like, you know, 12 videos before Bungie announced as part of their anniversary celebration that, hey, like, you know, we got Icebreaker coming back, that one gun that we said never would come back. But it was pretty funny that I talked about that specific point in a anniversary video that I pre-recorded prior to their anniversary announcement where they said it's coming back. Like, that is just ridiculous, but it's super fun and exciting. Like, I'm happy that that's what they're doing, because I will come back to D2 just for Icebreaker, and then I'm gonna quit again. So we'll see how all that stuff shakes out. But in any case, rambling aside and all that whatnot, you guys have been really supportive and really great about this Destiny 1 playthrough. So I wanted to thank you guys for all the comments. There's a bunch of them every single day talking about how much you like. I gotta say, out of all my playthroughs, like ever, on the most popular ones on my channel, I don't know if there has been this much of I missed this game. I had to go track down a copy at this bookstore. I had to buy a copy on eBay. I dusted my old, you know, copy off. I'm replaying it on my PlayStation 4 that I haven't touched, and like, it's crazy. Like, every day I'm getting someone telling me about how I inspired them to replay this game, which like makes me feel like an actual influencer, which I'm not, but I'm glad that I, you know, encourage you guys to have fun, because you can find Destiny 1 copies for like $1 online if you look around. But anyway, that's it for this episode. We'll continue with more Taken King in the next one. If you did enjoy this episode, though, as well as my rambling and probable nonsense. You can show your love by hitting the like button. Do not forget to subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Any feedback for me, leave it in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Also, don't forget to take a look at the description box. There are some links there that might be of interest to you, one of which is a link to the Marcanine community Discord server. If you want to be part of that group, you can come chat with me directly about Destiny stuff, non-Destiny stuff, whatever. Also, take a look at the Marcanine website. It's a work in progress, but marcanine.com. I threw some fun little Easter egg things in there, and I'm still working on it. I've got a blog that I'm developing there too, and I would like to take advantage of that, so I'm trying to get some traction in it. But anyway, we'll see how that goes in the future. But that's it for me. Take care, be well, and I'll see you when we continue with more of our Legacy playthrough of Destiny 1. All right, guys. Peace.